So another question is that how would we engage the Somali community representatives and like to the Somali community to the FBI and vice versa? How would we, and how is it one way that the FBI teaches, or the agency teaches its agents to be culturally sensitive to the people that they're dealing with in different parts of the world? Like if you're a part of the Somali community, Seattle community, and you want to talk to the Somali people, what kind of training do you guys get to be culturally sensitive, I guess, to that culture specifically?
Do you want to answer that one first?
I can actually start the answer of this, because this is where those people that we're hiring come into place. Mm-hmm. The linguists that we're hiring, that's part of their job. We have training for agents and training for intelligence analysts. I'll give you an example, not necessarily Somali. The agents that we send to Afghanistan and to Iraq, mm-hmm. Language Services asked to send their people, the linguists, to teach the agent culture sensitivity, customs, habits, what to do, what not to do. So Language Services, and we have, by the way, almost 1,600 linguists right now. Oh. We are in charge of sending people to those training to teach them about the country, the geographic, the food, everything that has anything to do with that region or the country. So we take a big part of that, because we would like them, when they go out, if they're not culturally sensitive, culturally aware of what's going on around them, they will fail in the mission. So that's a huge part of the mission success.
Okay, halkaad naga daawanaysaan waa Somali TV oo horeba idinku sheegnay barnaamijkan qayb ka yahay shaqada dadka doonaya FBI ay doonayso in la hadasho dad Soomaaliya bisha 5teeda iyo 4teeda waa Seattle University hadii la hayra waa wiigi soo socda, marka waxaan dadka ogeysiinaynaa wixii shaqo doonayeen inay tagaan taasoo lacagta la bixinayana ay tahay turjumaanada $37 ilaa $41 iyo shaqadaada aqoonta ilaa qualification kaad wadatay intaba. Haddaba halkaad naga daawanaysaan waa SomTV oo barnaamijkeenu inoo sii socon doono. Sidaad halkan ka daawanaysaan FBI waxay raadinayaan Somali American, waa community-ga wadankan inuu ka midnay, waa qayb ka mid ah hay'adaha wadanka ka shaqeeya federalka FBI-du. Marka waxaan rabnaa inagu bas inuu qayb uga noqon lahayn wadankan, meelo badan baa laga shaqeeyaa, ha noqoto post office waa federal, hay'ado badan oo federal baa jira. Marka saa daraadeed ay maanta noo hor fadhiyaan oo Hanna su'aalaha sii wada waatan Hanna oo markale ku soo celinaya barnaamijka.
Mustafa. So I have one more question, and that is, how is the FBI engaging the Somali community? What ways is the FBI involved in engaging the Somali community more further?
You know, that's something that we can improve on. I think you previously asked also about how do we get our agents culturally sensitized to the Somali community, and it's through exposure. It's through things like today, by being here on Somali TV. It's by training that we give from different communities, not only the Somali community, the African American community, the Ethiopian, Eritrean, all the different communities we have in our country. But it has to also be from people from your community. So it would be good to have more leaders from your community meet with our agents. I do meet with leaders from the Somali community. I have met with several leaders from the Somali community and gotten some very good advice, eaten some very good food, and have learned a lot. One of the things that we do with the community members is our CREST program, and it's a program where we spend one day teaching you everything we can about the FBI. It's a very quick thing. We have a Citizens Academy, which is 8 weeks, one day a week for 8 weeks, where we bring people from all over the community, from different communities, from the Seattle community, for everybody in our community, from businesses, from hospitals, nonprofits, law enforcement, government, and we show you everything that the FBI does. We tell you a little about our investigations. We let you meet a lot of our different employees, and then to top it off, we take you to our range. We feed you and let you shoot all our guns. We have different programs like Adopt a School. Graham Hill Elementary, we've made our school last year. We're going to do it again this year. We have a junior FBI agent program. We have fingerprint bazaars where we'll come and fingerprint people in the community, not for our purposes, for your purposes, but through personal relationships. We'd like to come to your community. Through personal relationships, we'd like to come to your community and develop not only professional relationships, personal relationships, let you meet us. Yeah. And I think by you getting to know us and us getting to know you, the fear of those 3 letters, as you asked previously, the fear of the FBI will erode.
Get used to each other.
Absolutely.
To know each other. That's true. There's one other question is that there's a large generational gap between the younger, like either 1.5 or first generation students or second generation young youth, and then the older generation who've migrated here and have either have been here for a few years or less than. Most of them have been less than 20 years in America. So that the educational gap is large. So the kids know a lot more than the parents know, especially in the English language. And a lot of the kids have can sort of, it's hard for the parents to keep track or know or understand what their kids are involved in or are doing outside the home. So what advice would you, or how do you think parents could be more involved in keeping their kids from illegal activities or gangs and whatnot? How could they be more, I guess, more like controlling of that, or help them, if that makes sense?
Well, it does make a lot of sense, and I'll tell you, younger generation, it's your responsibility to help your parents in this country. I don't care where you live, whether you're living in Seattle or Miami or Somalia. It's your responsibility to help your parents and help the elder generation, which I'm almost a part of now, to get by. And I will offer that that the older community should feel comfortable calling the police, should feel comfortable calling the Seattle police. We have community resource officers who will provide information to any citizen. If they have questions, they can call me at the FBI. I won't even offer them to call a duty officer. They can call me, and I'll speak to any older person and try to help them out. But it's going to have to be through the younger generation and through professionals like yourself and through Somali TV to educate the older community. It's going to have to be through a community helping themselves.
Yes. Would you like to?
I also think that the Somali community, the younger generation, should help or should ask their parents to be engaged, more engaged into the activities that the law enforcement tries when they reach out to the community. We recently, September 17th, we had a huge Somali town hall where we had 11 federal agencies present. We had a town hall, we had a discussion, we had a question and answer session, a panel. There we had immigration, we had CIA, we had FBI, we had TSA, we had Homeland Security. So there were a lot of federal agencies there to answer the question and the concerns of the community. The U.S. Attorney General was there. Same thing happened in Minneapolis in June. In June, we had a huge town hall meeting for law enforcement for the Minneapolis region. Again, you should go out more and participate in those activities because they're very, very good for the law enforcement and for the community.
If I may point out something else, of the last 3 Citizens Academies we've had, there's been at least one Somali American in each of the Citizens Academies. I would love to see more than 1 or 2 people there.
One to go, the rest need to go too.
You know what? I will guarantee you and your friends a slot in our next Citizens Academy. How about we give 5 slots to you?
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll take it.
That's a promise.
We'll take it.
We'll guarantee you that.
I can assure you, from the Arabic community, we have quite a few. I was in Chicago for a few years as a linguist, and we had a great number of Arabs participate in Citizens Academy, and they were very impressed. So I do encourage you to participate.
More
in
Somalis to participate in it.
Yes.
That's wonderful. We should. Just one other question was that, like, how is the FBI dealing with the money crisis or the economy right now? And if
respect to hiring.
Yeah, in respect to hiring.
That's why right now we don't have a lot of slots for full-time positions, but however we have funding for what we call contract linguist. So I started as a contract linguist for 1.5 years. So basically you get your foot in the door and you wait until the money crisis is gone, and then you move into a full-time position. The contract linguist, basically, it's an independent contractor. It's kind of like when you hire a CPA to do your taxes. They come, they work by the hour. We can guarantee pretty much more or less 40 hours a week or more, and they bill us at the end of the month on 40-hour basis. So this is how we can't offer benefits yet, and we can't offer insurance, what they call a 401k or a pension retirement plan. However, we can offer an income, a job and an income. And once the money crisis is gone, it has happened several times that a lot of our contractors have moved into full-time positions. We also have the internship program where we ask youth to apply to be interns with the FBI, so they could get their clearance and they get acquainted with the environment and the culture. So this is another thing we would like to advertise for, the internship program. We would like the youth to apply for the internship program. Yes, it's very selective and not too many people go through, but I'm sure eventually we'll have somebody from this community get in.
Yeah, if they're good, if they fit the qualifications, of course.
May I add two things? One has nothing to do with hiring, and it's one thing that I was remiss in mentioning earlier. And it may go towards trust for the Somali community and the FBI. If we have the mission of investigating violations of civil rights, so if you believe that your civil rights have been violated because of your race, your ethnicity, your religion, you've been denied housing, you've been denied the right to vote, you've been denied the right to employment, criminally, not civilly, criminally, we're the organization you should contact. And we do investigations for hate crimes, where, if you remember, in the 60s in the United States, the Ku Klux Klan would burn crosses. Well, we also do the same thing to protect religious rights and racial and ethnic rights. So please, look at us as a protector when it comes to protection of your civil rights. Regarding employment, FBI agents, we're hiring nationwide 900 this year, and that's full-time positions with beautiful health care package. I think the agents start at about $65,000, $70,000 a year, and you have to be willing to nationwide assignment. So if you were hired through Seattle, the one thing we would promise you is that after you finish the FBI Academy, you would not come back to Seattle. But we're hiring FBI agents. I'd love to hire a Somali American as an FBI agent. It would be probably the first Somali American that we would have hired from the state, and it's a great job and a lot of opportunities. And I've seen 30 countries since I've been employed with the FBI.
Wow. See, yeah, for people who like to travel and who would want to see more of the world and still help make difference in their country and to their people.
Absolutely.
That would be a great position for them.
Absolutely.
And also, like, what types of language proficiency do you guys need or want? So there's like the Shakespearean type Somali that the old Somali where you do the songs and the poetry. We're known for poetry, so it's like very old and strong Somali. And then there's the mainstream and, some more modern, I guess, type languages. What types of language, what type of person?
Pretty much I'm told that whatever that's on Mogadishu, the Mogadishu Times, that would be, or the radio, that would be the Somali language that we're looking for.
So the newspaper and our BBC stuff like that.
Yes, the Mogadishu BBC and the newspaper, the Somali newspaper, that's pretty much the modern, I would assume, would be the modern. The test does require a certain skill in the English language, high proficiency in the English language, so these two are definitely needed. We don't have an age limit. So if you're 18 and above, above, I mean above.
Yes.
I mean anybody. If you pass the test, you pass the clearance.
And if you're like in your 50s, 60s, 70s, 60s, a lot of the people, if you have the proficiency.
We actually just had an Arabic man apply, and he cleared, and we realized he's 75 years old and he wants to work, so we'll give him the job.
Now, for the FBI agents, we're not going to hire you that old.
No. For agents and analysts, no.
23 is the youngest that you can apply. We're not going to hire very many 23-year-olds to be an FBI agent, and 36 years old to start as the oldest. So 23 and 36.
That's when you are in the field and going like actual agent. That's okay.
To carry a gun and do investigations. The youngest is 23 that will hire you, and to start the process, 36 years of age is the oldest you can meet to apply. Gotcha.
And then what about the other various jobs there are?
There's no age limit for the other ones.
There you go. All right. Thank you so much. I think that's all the questions I have right now for you guys.